Amy.
I'm Laura.
And we are TwoPaperGirls.
Today we're back with Top 5 Wednesday. We haven't done one for a little while because we had some other videos lined up / weren't a massive fan of the top 5s themselves. But this week's a really good one. It's your top 5 non-canon ships or OTPs. If you don't know what non-canon is like what actually happens in the book, so like who actually gets together. So if it's non-canon, it's just you ship it and you wish they get together, so it's either like they do go out but don't end up together at the end of the series, or they just literally don't go out but you ship it anyway.
And OTPs, which I didn't know for a long time, are one true pairs. So here are our five true pairs.
My number 5 is Victor and Eli from Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This is number 5 because I don't massively ship it. Like, I'm not super into like homosexual ships. Not trying to be offensive. It's just not my thing. Don't find it sexy. But I do like Sherlock and Moriarty a little bit because it's like they love each other but they hate each other. And Victor and Eli have the similar kind of relationships. It kind of made me think of that quite a lot. I just love how they just love each other but they hate each other, and I really like that in ships when they kind of, well, not always, but like Warner and Juliet, when it's kind of a hate turns into a love, and this is like a love turns into a hate, and it's just a little bit sexy. And I was kind of hoping that there would be a bit of a twist where one of them was gay. Eli has a girlfriend at the start of the book, and I was kind of like, ooh, does Victor secretly love Eli and that's why he hates the girlfriend? And that didn't happen, but I wanted it to, so that's why it's at number 5.
I choose Peter Walsh and Clarissa Dalloway from Mrs. Dalloway because she's married to Thingamabobby Dalloway, but she loves Peter Walsh. They were star-crossed lovers from when they were little, and it's been ages since they've seen each other, but she invited him to her dinner party and they reconnected, but obviously she's married and he's off doing his own thing. But I just really like it when people are separated as like teenagers, and then when they're like 30, 40, kind of get back together and meet each other, and they've got so much to catch up on in all their lives. And it was a really, really, really cute ship. And I don't ship it massively because it's a classic, and this book wasn't my favourite. I gave it like 3 out of 5 stars in my wrap-up, but they were really sweet together.
My number 4 is Q and Margot from Paper Town. Slight spoiler that they don't end up together by the end of the book, which is, it's not like, I don't hugely ship it, because there's so much more to this book than that romance, because it's never really happens anyway, so it's not like the main point of it that it's like makes my shipper heart go crazy. But Q really loves Margot and she does have a bit of a thing for him, and it just doesn't work out. But I like the reasons that it doesn't work out. It's because she's just got to go and be herself, and he needs to stop thinking he can whisk her away or dramatically like some hero, because she is just a human who wants to get on with her life and just not think about boys for a bit, which I really respect. And yeah, so I do ship it though, because I would have, when I first read it I was like, wait, they don't get together at the end? Like what? Because that's what you expect to happen. So I do ship it a little bit from those feelings, but I can see why it doesn't work out.
My next ship is Selena and Prince Dorian from the Throne of Glass series. I really, really like Dorian in like Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight. Kind of went off him in this book, I've got to say, but only because I shipped them and then it didn't happen. But now I ship Selena with someone else, and I do like Dorian and Selena, but I just see them more as friends now. But back when they first met and she was like torn between Kale and Dorian, I was just like, Dorian. And I really liked them, but obviously she didn't end up with him and it was just a bit sad for me. But I'm over it now, so don't worry about me.
My number 3 is Neville and Luna from the Harry Potter series. This isn't one that I really thought of myself when I was reading it. I didn't really think of them together, but a lot of people really ship them, especially in the films. They do put in a hint of it in Deathly Hallows, which is really sweet. And like now I've seen people talk about it, I'm like, no, actually they'd be really, really good together, because they're like the two misfits who are actually really badass, and I just think they'd be really sweet. They'd go on little hunts and she'd find crazy creatures and he finds plants, and it would just be really cute. Like, I'd really like it if they ended up together. I think J.K. Rowling said that Luna ends up with like the son of Newt Scamander, who wrote Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, which to be fair does make sense, and that Neville like just became a teacher and loved his plants. But if they got together I'd be really happy.
My number 3 is from Game of Thrones. There's so many things to ship in this book,
there is.
And it's kind of sad because this ship didn't work out because of death. So obviously, I don't know where you're up to in Game of Thrones. I think it's happened. Renly and Loras, I won't tell you who dies. But I love Renly, I love Loras. Rest in peace. I absolutely adored them. The only person who ships this more than me is probably Marjorie. It was just the saddest moment when he got taken by the ghost lady. It was just awful. And I really, really shipped it, and I really, really loved them both, and they were the most gorgeous couple. But yeah, that was a shame.
My number 2 is Peter and Wendy. Obviously, this is like a cutesy ship. They're like, they have their cute little romance, but they're kids. But I think the reason they can't be together is just so heartbreaking that's why it's at number 2, because obviously Peter Pan just wants to stay on Neverland and never grow up, but Wendy's like, I'm forgetting who my family are, so I need to go. And it's really sad when he returns at the end and like she's all grown up and got a daughter and everything, and it's just really sad that he forgets who she is over time, but he can never forget her. But they've got the whole like childhood thing. It just breaks my heart a little bit, even though I don't ship them super romantically, obviously, because they're so young, but they just need to be together in Neverland, and they can't for so many complex reasons, and it just makes me really sad.
My number 2 is Thera and Rysand from A Court of Thorns and Roses. I'm actually holding up the second one because I think that this one is at number 2 because I think I might get my wish. I don't know what's coming, but I think I'm going to get my Thera Rysand thing because apparently Tamlin turns into a bit of a dick, and I can see that. But, Rysand.
My number 1 is not from this book at all, but it's the only book I have to show you from this series. It's actually The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J Maas. Sam and Selena, man. Can we have a moment for Sam I can't remember his name. I need to reread it.
Cartland.
Cortland. Sam, anyway. From The Assassin's Blade, I loved that ship. I was like, I don't have many OTPs. I don't get enough into ships to be like, this is the one. But reading The Assassin's Blade, I was like, I am so into this. I love it. And now I don't want to spoil The Assassin's Blade for you, but to be fair, if you read any of the books, it does come up. One of them dies. I'm not going to say who. One of them dies in a horrible way, and it just literally broke my heart. I cried. And Kale did fill that void a little bit, and now he's being a little bitch. And I'm like, I just need something in this series to ship. I mean, Rowan's getting there, but I don't know. But Sam, man, is like, he was my favourite. And I think it was the first one that came to mind with this Top 5 Wednesday was them two, because I just wanted them to be happily ever after. They got their little flat, and she was like, aww. Oh God, it was so horrible. So that has to be number 1. I loved him so much.
My favourite ship, probably of all time, is actually from a book, but it's probably more based on the play, is The Phantom and Christine Daae from Phantom of the Opera. It's actually a book by Gaston Leroux, and I read the translated version because I don't speak French, obviously. But obviously I went to see the play for my birthday in London. My boyfriend bought me tickets, and it's the first West End play I've ever seen. It was the most fantastic thing I've ever done. It was beautiful, and I love them so much. Like, I love Raoul. It's like Christine and Raoul are meant to be together, like arranged marriage, blah blah blah. And then she meets this phantom and he teaches her how to sing. Aww. And just because he's just a little bit lonely, she thinks he's creepy, and everyone turns against him. And yeah, he's a bit of a murderer, but he loves her and I love him. And oh my God, it's so heartbreaking at the end. And honestly, the phantom is the most magical person. I just wish they could be together. I wish she was not superficial.
So that's it for this Top 5 Wednesday. We really enjoyed this one. Let us know down below some of your favourite OTPs and ships that are not together for various reasons, because it's nice when a book gives you so much feels, but it hurts so bad. So let us know what you think down below.
And we'll see you later.
Bye!